Everyone in town loved Mr. Cooper's butcher shop. Since earlier that year, the newcomer offered fantastic cuts of meat for surprisingly little. No one questioned his kindness, his prices, or even where the meat came from. No one even made the connection until Bill came home from work and found his son, Jimmy, crying on the front steps. Milo, the family dog, had gone missing. Bill spent the entire evening driving around town with Jimmy, searching for Milo. Bill's wife stayed at home, calling animal shelters and anywhere else she could think of in case someone had picked Milo up. No luck, no leads, and no trace of the dog. Jimmy had her broken, and Bill knew that Bill had to do something about it. Milo was family. Bill pondered the situation while driving. Milo was the third pet in the neighborhood that had gone missing over the last few months. Coincidence? Maybe. Or a pattern. Will made a few calls to local animal shelters the following morning, as he suspected they were hearing a lot about missing pets recently. The calls were coming from all across town, similar calls to animal shelters in nearby towns. However, yielded different results. It seemed that, over this last year or so, animals disappeared in town at a much higher rate. It didn't take long for Bill to suspect Mr. Cooper. The unreasonable cheap prices, the meat that seemed too unlikely anything else he had ever tasted. It seemed obvious as soon as he first had the thought. That night Bill parked around the block near the storefront and waited for Mr. Cooper to head home. Mr. Cooper left at dusk, and Bill waited until long after sundown to sneak around back. Behind the shop, he rummaged through Mr. Cooper's trash with one hand, holding a flashlight with the other. Bill found Milo's collar in a tied-up trash bag first, and nearly called the police as soon as he laid eyes on it. The dog had been a Christmas present for Jimmy when he was in preschool, a part of the family for over 5 years when Cooper took him. Milo was like a second son to Bill, a little brother for Jimmy to watch over and take care of. Unwilling to stop until he found more proof of what Cooper did, Bill kept retrieving trash bags and tearing them open. He ignored the cuts of bad meat and fat, the bones and fur, digging until he could find a second smoking gun that no one could deny or brush off as a coincidence. He knew that he would find another collar. Instead, he found a pair of small blood-stained sneakers and called the police immediately. Mr. Cooper had been busy with his green business, so busy with his orders that he had to hunt locally to keep up with the demand his hungry friends and neighborhoods had created. They won't miss their pets. Cooper had rationalized, so long as their children aren't on the menu.